Suspended IEBC Commissioner Irene Masit wants the tribunal investigating her and 3 other commissioners who resigned to declare that it does not have jurisdiction to do so. Masit says the petition before the tribunal lacks constitutional, statutory and factual foundation. The embattled IEBC Commissioner wants the High Court to hear and determine the petition that is already before it to conclusion, adding that it has supervisory jurisdiction over subordinate courts. Seth Olale with the latest reaction on the Cherera Four dilemma ahead of next week's scheduled hearings by the tribunal.
With 2 days to the start of tribunal hearings on suspended IEBC Commissioner Irene Masit and 3 others who resigned over their conduct during the August 9th presidential election, Commissioner Masit has appealed against last week's dismissal of her preliminary objections by the tribunal during the status conference attended by interested parties to the petition. In her 15-page final submissions, Masit faults the Justice Irene Masit-led tribunal for determining her preliminary objection prior to tribunal's proceedings.
We will proceed and inquire into the allegations that were contained in the petition as conveyed to us.
The embattled commissioner argues that, and I quote, preliminary objection on jurisdiction is raised when a tribunal is sitting, end of quote. Commissioner Masit, in a 12-point republished preliminary objection, wants the tribunal, and I quote, to determine it doesn't have jurisdiction to hear and determine the petition before it to the conclusion, and that it must rise up to its constitutional location and hold that the petition before it has no constitutional, statutory or factual foundation, end of quote. The suspended IEBC Commissioner wants the High Court in Nairobi to be the sole judicial entity in charge of hearing and determining the petition against the Cherera Four. Masit argues that the High Court's supervisory jurisdiction in Article 165, 6 and 7 of the Constitution states that, and I quote, the High Court has supervisory jurisdiction over the subordinate courts and over any person, body or authority exercising a judicial or quasi-judicial function, but not over a superior court. The High Court may call for the record of any proceedings before any subordinate court or person, body or authority and make any order or give any direction it considers appropriate to ensure the fair administration of justice. End of quote.
This tribunal is subordinate to the High Court. And in view of the fact that now we have a petition which is live, which seeks to quash these proceedings, it may only be good order again, and again the same thing on substantial justice, that we defer taking directions until after 19th. Once we know what the trial judge will direct on 19th of December.
On Monday, 19th December 2022, the High Court in Nairobi, in petition number E529 of 2022, will rule on whether the Justice Irene Masit-led tribunal has jurisdiction to hear and determine the petition against the Cherera Four to conclusion. Seth Olale, Citizen TV, Nairobi.